Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The Battle of Runes first matches start here. Each match will take place in the Plains biome setup for the first round. So let's see who wins and who falls to other contestants. Before we start, this is just a few images of what the actual biome looks like. And let's begin the first match, which is Heroic Hurricane versus Swamp Storm. First, let's cover Team Hurricane. And they have Gorosaurus, who is pretty much the team's physical strength, large size, and can be very versatile in fights. So overall, he can handle himself well in this fight, along with Jason, who has pretty good defense, Kong being good IQ, and Rajang being good speed as well. Spinebreaker is the muscle and size of his team, along with Gatorade taking advantage of the water biome, and Pilediver along with Cutter also taking advantage of the semi-aquatic niche. So yeah. Now on to the fight, and I'm going to do my best to tell a story. On both sides of the plains, over the edge, appears Gorosaurus charging, with Rajang and Kong following close behind, and Jason trying to keep up with the group. On the other side is Spinebreaker starts running, as well as Gatorade and the other two small guys who take the lead. Now the issue is, there is a 30-foot gap in between the area of just straight water, so they're going to have to swim across. Pilediver and Spinebreaker both reach the water and hop in, along with Cutter, who also takes the lead in the swimming race. Gorosaurus on the other side decides to jump in and swim towards them, along with Jason. Rajang is small enough to catch a ride on Jason's back as they swim, but Kong has to stay on the shore as he cannot swim. Gatorade finally hits the water as well, though his team is a lot farther ahead than him because he's not the best at land locomotion. But by the time he hits the water, Gorosaurus has cleared halfway across the water and met with Spinebreaker in the water. Spinebreaker uses his greater size to try and dunk Gorosaurus in the water to drown him, but Gorosaurus is not just going to let that happen and uses strong kicks to get Spinebreaker off of him and hit him with his tail. Cutter and Pilediver, along with their partners, go and attack the two Jasons and multiple Rajangs, though the Rajangs decide to jump off Jason's back and tackle all of them. So they just wrestle around for a bit as the two Jasons clear some Piledivers and Cutters. Gatorade finally pulls up, and when he does, he goes straight for one of the Jason's legs and pulls him under. Having a 2-ton weight advantage is a pretty good thing to have, especially when you're more adapted to the environment. The first Jason is dragged underwater, trying to kick back, though Gatorade's sheer power is too much and he is pulled deeper and deeper into the water. Gorosaurus gets the upper hand on Spinebreaker and ends up kicking him back, giving him enough time to swim back to shore, though Spinebreaker quickly recovers and swims after Gorosaurus in an attempt to catch him. The Rajang group is dropping quick as they are really good in offense but do not have great durability, so the various Cutters and Piledivers are able to finish off the majority of the Rajangs. Though Jason, with his trunk, is able to strangle a Pilediver and kill a Cutter, so he is keeping his end of the bargain for the team and helping out. Blood quickly fills the water as Gatorade returns to the surface, leaving the other Jason dead at the bottom. The last few Rajangs are able to swim back to shore as they're not too far out to meet up with the various two Kongs waiting for him to do his thing. Gatorade swims around and goes for Jason, though Jason just chucks the two Piledivers at him in an attempt to distract him, which is effective as Gatorade changes its direction to go for the apes. The last Cutter and Pilediver make it to the shore, where they finish off one Rajang, and Pilediver is killed by Kong, who punches him in the head, which is enough to break the skull and kill him. Though Cutter isn't going to just let his buddy die, so he jumps onto Kong's back and tears into him. Kong's Osteoderms luckily tanking most of the blow, and he's able to shake off Cutter and punch him in the face. Jason makes a run for the shore as well, as Gorosaurus just makes it out of the water, as Spinebreaker snaps at his tail, but misses. Spinebreaker does a body slam to Gorosaurus, as he just lunges forward and is able to get a hold of him and just throws him down in the ground. Gorosaurus is quick to get up though, and uses his legs to kick at Spinebreaker's legs and knocks him down. Gatorade decides to just camp the water, as he has a better locomotion in the water, so he's kind of just there for his team, not doing much. Kong is able to finish off Cutter once and for all, as the two Kongs, Rajang and Jason, meet up with Gorosaurus to help take down Spinebreaker. Spinebreaker uses his tail to kill Rajang, as well as kill one of the Kongs by using his large claws and sheer power to just pin him down and kill him. During this time, though, he's overpowered by Gorosaurus and Jason, who just used their combined weight to push him over onto his sail. This causes Spinebreaker immense pain, as that's one of the most breakable parts of his body. Though during this time, while they were distracted, Gatorade was able to lunge out and get a hold on Jason's neck and drag him into the water. Though during this, since Spinebreaker was pretty much out of commission, Gorosaurus leaps into the water onto Gatorade's head, which stuns him temporarily, and Gorosaurus is able to kill Gatorade. He lets out a roar in victory. As he goes back, he sees Spinebreaker is gone. He turns around and is clawed in the face by Spinebreaker one last time. As he goes for another attack, Kong shows up and punches Spinebreaker's leg, which doesn't do a whole lot, but is enough to distract him for Gorosaurus to do one last charge at him, which is able to knock Spinebreaker over once again, where Gorosaurus just curb stomps his face into the ground. Kong and Gorosaurus walk away slowly in victory. So there you have it, folks. Match 1 came down to not sheer strength, as the other team was a lot stronger, but it came down to overall teamwork and numbers in this case. As Team Swampstorm did have the terrain advantage, they didn't exactly have the best team coordination and lacked that compared to the other team. So the other team was able to quickly exploit that, divide and conquer, which they did by taking out these small creatures first and then jumping Spinebreaker, as he was physically stronger than everyone in the field, but in numbers he was no match for him. Now this fight could play very differently if by chance the fight kept place in water and they didn't get out. Then Spinebreaker likely would have drowned Gorosaurus, or Gatorade would have been able to get over there in time and drag him under as well. So in this case, more likely than not, Team Hurricane would pull through, so they will move on to round 2. Next up is Hazardous Heatwave versus Tearing Tsunami. First up is Boberto, who will provide size for his team as well as a good counter to the other team, as he's the largest on the field, along with the Scrappers, who will play a good mid-sized role, teamed up with Mahoraga's group. So yeah. And Bunyip will be pretty good speed for his team, along with being the smartest on the field, for his side anyways. But yeah. Let's see the next team. Starting with Godzilla, being the physically strongest on the field, being able to lift a lot of weight, and being able to throw multiple tons, as well as his own body weight. Anguirus, on the other hand, is the most durable in the field, along with there being 2 of him, will be able to counter the other team pretty well. And the 4 Lilas will be able to do some pretty good damage, as well as being the most arboreal of the group, being able to climb up and scale the other team. And finally, I'm just calling this name Talon, because I'm not going to pronounce this name right all the time, so Talon's group will do pretty well as well. Now on to the fight. Starting is over the horizon, you can see Godzilla's spikes glowing. As his team looks over the side, they can see Boberto's giant silhouette in the distance. Now, they quickly close the distance as the 2 Anguiruses take off downhill, along with the Lilas on each of their back. And Godzilla also runs down too, though he can't exactly run, so he kind of just waddles. And on the other side, the Scrappers and Maharagas are deployed, along with the Bunyips in the mix to also help. The two teams get near the water, and by this time, the Anguirus can swim. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but they can. So all the Delilahs just decide to swim by them and put them on the back to create extra weight, because they can swim pretty well. So they hop in the water, along with the Talon group staying overhead, as they can jump over the hill to get some distance and actually glide across, so they got good range. On the other side, the various Scrappers on Maharagas get to the water and jump in, along with the Bunyips. Bunyips, the strongest swimmer of the group, as he's specialized in pretty much all terrain. Godzilla reaches the water, and unlike waddling on the land, he can swim really well, so he covers a lot of ground and catches up to his team fast. On the other hand, Boberto can't exactly swim, but he is large enough to just walk out into the water, so he is able to not catch up to his team, but be close enough to where it's not that drastic. The first fights happen with Lilas and Bunyips, who clash and start fighting around in the water, though Lila's tail provides her an extra limb to help and strangle out Bunyips. I just realized the name's Benyip, just pretend I said Benyip. The various Anguiruses reach the group and are attacked by the three Scrappers. Though the fact that there's two Anguiruses, they are able to push back the Scrappers and send them retreating, though they were not prepared for Maharagas to be there as well, so they each have to deal with at least 3 opponents, which is not good for them, so they do get overwhelmed by the group, though Lilas are able to help, along with a few Talons, jumping down and scratching at their faces. Just as one of the Scrappers are about to get onto Anguirus' back, Godzilla quickly grabs one with his mouth and chucks it a few feet back. The Scrapper hits the water with a thud, and as they thought it was that over, Godzilla swims out there, grabs it again, and continues to shake and throw the Scrapper around like a penguin with a leopard seal. Boberto is able to finally get out into the group, though he can just barely stand now, so he kind of is just a sitting duck, though he is able to use himself as a home base for the team, where the Bunyips swim back and go behind him. As Delilah try to get close, Boberto is able to use his jaws to crush one, and the others retreat from him. Now the various Talons are losing a bit of altitude, so they quickly turn back to go get more room, though they are high enough in the air to the point where nothing can catch them, so they're pretty good right now. The Maharagas and two Scrappers are able to bring down one Anguirus, causing him to drown, though the other Anguirus is able to pick off a Maharaga with his jaws, crushing it. A few Lilas are also able to distract the Maharagas to get them off of Anguirus, and by that time, the various Talons are able to come back. Boberto decides to go back to his land, as he can't exactly do much, so he retreats from land. As he does, his legs are grappled by various Lilas, not causing enough drag to stop him, but able to draw blood. Boberto starts to bleed out, though the Benyips are quick to deal with the problem, as they latch onto the Lilas and are able to kill a few. As Anguirus is able to scare off the last two Scrappers, the third Scrapper flies overhead, completely mangled and unrecognizable, and hits the water with a thud. Godzilla lets out a bellow and swims towards the other two, who retreat fast. The Talons show up and are able to scratch at Boberto's head, causing more damage, though he is able to shake them off and take most of the blows. Anguirus swims after Boberto, as that is the biggest target, along with the fact that the rest of them also went to Boberto, so he kind of has to follow them. Godzilla is able to pick off one of the Maharagas in the back, leaving only one, and continues to tear that one apart. The main Scrapper, Matilda, is able to kill one of the Lilas by using its bone ram and frill to block off the tail and crush her with its head. Boberto finally reaches the shore, though he is badly cut up in his leg area, so he is much slower now. Also, by this time, Anguirus is able to catch up and uses his spikes to cut at Boberto's legs, as well as uses tail club to hammer at his ankles. Anguirus goes for one more hit, but is overwhelmed by the last Mahoraga and the other two scrappers. Though Boberto can't do much as he is distracted by the various talons who are able to claw out one of his arms. As Anguirus fights the other two, the shore breaks as Godzilla throws two Benyips onto the shore dead and charges for Boberto. Boberto is slow to turn around and is slammed by Godzilla, not enough to send him flying or even make him flip over, but it is enough to shock him as Godzilla tears into his side. Boberto uses his strength to send Godzilla back and get enough room to where he can use his tail club, though Godzilla is able to dodge the tail club and just body slam again into Boberto. This time it's enough to send his ankle breaking and he falls over. As Boberto hits the ground, Godzilla with one final movement is able to bite down on his neck and cause him to bleed out. The last Lila is trampled by Mahoraga, and one of these scrappers is killed by Anguirus' tail club, with only Matilda remaining and one Mahoraga, as well as one Benyip. Benyip, with one final act of courage, is actually able to catch one of the talons when they fly too close, and is able to actually kill one. Though he is also killed as the other talons are able to dive down and quickly destroy him. Though Anguirus has taken a lot of damage, as he's also really badly bruised, has some broken bones, a few shattered ribs, though he continues to fight for his team. Matilda can't really do much as of now, except go for bone-breaking attacks, as piercing is not really her strong suit. Mahoraga, though, can pierce. Mahoraga is able to pierce Anguirus' neck with one lucky shot with his tusks, and Anguirus knows that he is not going to make it due to his jugular being popped, so he, with one last act that he decides to fall over and take Mahoraga with him. Matilda roars out in victory, as behind her, Godzilla charges, though Matilda can hear him, so she ends up turning around, though it is too late by then, and Godzilla grabs her by her side, lifts her up with his mouth, and continues to just shake her until she goes in. Matilda hits the ground with a thud, as Godzilla stomps on her one last time. Matilda is dead. Though Godzilla, even after she's gone, decides to grab her and suplex her one last time before calling it a day. As the other talons land on the ground, they have won. They have claimed victory for their team. In this scenario, the Terran Tsunami was able to pull through. That's not to say that the hazardous heat waves cannot win, as this is the closest fight covered out of the two, as the combined duo of the Scrappers and Mahoragas is pretty dang good. The only reason Anguirus was able to pull through is because he had two of them. Even then, he still ended up dropping to the Indian from the two. And Boberto too, if he was able to get more time on the ground, instead of going in the water, then he also could have probably taken a few with him, which he did. He killed a few Lilas, though the team would have performed better if they were more close together, though they played the game extremely well, with Benyip taking advantage of both biomes, able to take down a pretty decent amount of foes, though overall his size is what cost him his life. Now let me cover the other team why they won. With Godzilla's overall strength and versatility in this environment, he was able to quickly adapt to it, as well as Anguirus. The water was a struggle, he was able to quickly counter it, along with the fact that the Talons had that aerial advantage, gave them a huge advantage as well, and Lila, being pretty versatile, was able to do pretty good distractions to take out opponents. Overall, the Terran Tsunami does win more often than not against this team, and will move on to round 3. Now for the final fight. On the left side, Brontonychus, the group of Jax, Strikethorn and Raijin, and Shade's group spot the other team on the other side and charge downhill. Queen, Mosey, The Alberico group and Otogarian group also spot the other team and charge down here. Shade is the first one on the other team to get to the water, and he is a pretty efficient swimmer and gets to work pretty quick in the water, along with Jax's group following behind. On the other side, the two Indostransevia hybrids are able to get to the water, along with the groups, and start to swim. Along with Mosey following quick behind with his two partners. By now, both teams, all members have gotten to the water, some swimming better than others, like the two larger ones somewhat struggling in the water, but they are able to quickly catch up with them. Shade wastes no time and immediately goes for one of the Albericos by grabbing him and dunking him underwater, along with slashing an Otogarian in the face with his giant claws. Though the Indostransevia group has 8 against just him, so he has to rely on his two partners to come help him, which they show up, and they have a giant brawl. During this, though, Mosey is able to quickly close the gap and starts to ram at Brontonicus, which does do damage, as the horns are a pretty effective weapon, though Brontonicus is 3 times the size of Mosey and slaps Mosey across the water. One of the other Moseys goes for the group of Jax, though it is a lot of Jax, so they're pretty equal, and Strikethorn and Rajan are able to catch up to the Queen and use their tail clubs to ram her. Her armor soaks up most of the blow, and she is able to grab Rajan with her teeth and begins to bite him. Strikethorn quickly rams into Queen's side, which is able to knock out Rajan of her mouth and stun Queen for a bit. 2 of the 3 shades are killed off, along with only 5 of the Gorgon opposites, Transcevias remaining, so pretty even over there, though 3 Jaxes out of the 8 have dropped on their side, and Mosey is getting low on overall HP. So during this time, the other Mosey is able to come in and help defeat the Jax. Though the Jax are not winning, and Brontonicus is able to catch up and push back the Moseys from harming the Jax. Strikethorn is able to catch up and kills a few of the Indostransevia hybrids, though 2 now remain and decide to swim off. The final 2 Jax are ended up killing Mosey in the crossfire, though during this time, Queen was able to wake up and charges at Brontonicus using her giant teeth to pierce into his side. Brontonicus uses his greater size to push Queen off, though Queen is determined and uses her battering ram-like head to flip over Brontonicus. Brontonicus is not like a normal sauropod, yes, he's a first sauropod, but he could get up, though Queen has him pinned underwater and he can't get up from it. The 2 Moseys charge Strikethorn and Rajan. Rajan is killed due to pretty much bleeding out, though Strikethorn is able to take one of the Moseys down with his tail breaking the skull, and the final Shade is able to kill off the 2 Indostranscevias. Shade goes in to kill the last Mosey, though Mosey is able to overpower him and take him out. Now it's just Strikethorn versus Mosey and Queen. Strikethorn is able to hit Mosey in the jaw and ends up breaking multiple teeth along with the many fangs, though he is rammed in his leg by Mosey, who is able to actually cut down his leg, and he hits the ground hard. The last thing Strikethorn sees before he dies is a giant pair of jaws crushing his head. So there you have it. For this battle, Team the Cyclone was able to pull through. But why did they? Well, the other team, the advantage they had over them was overall numbers, along with their teams a lot more durable, had better weapons, but the main thing was terrain advantage. As the other team, Brontonicus, if it was on land, he probably could have killed the other opponent, being Queen, though due to it being made of water, she was able to pull through the fight. Strikethorn and his partner also look good. They have their weapons, though in water they aren't the best, so they didn't have the best advantage there. Shade was the only one who was able to capitalize off of this. He was semi-aquatic, though even he couldn't pull through in this situation. So overall, the Cryptic Cyclones are able to pull through more often than not in these fights. They move on to the next round. And there you have it, folks. The three teams to make it to round 2 and 3 are the Terran Tsunami, the Heroic Hurricane, and Cryptic Cyclone. So yeah, these were the best results, in my opinion, without any bias, as proof of that is my hybrid that I sent got dropped, so yeah. But I hope you all enjoyed it and do agree with most of these results, as so far the polls are in favor of each team that won. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this and be hyped for round 2 and have a good night.
Noche caliente.